Hey guys, welcome to another one of our videos. I'm the Worm, this is the Proton. Today we are doing a mechanical mod. It is a wooden mechanical mod. We did not receive this free of charge because it's sent to us temporarily on loan from one of our Facebook users, Vic. So hello Vic.
Indubitably. Today what we are doing is the Touchwood Mini, which is available from touchwoodmods.com or co.uk. It will be up here. Sorry guys, we just had a brief look at the site. I did just glance at it very quickly. I'm so sorry. It came from Vic. If you want one, talk to Vic.
Yes. She wins it free of charge.
Indeed, she did. Yeah, Vic actually won this at Vatefest free of charge. Awesome sauce. Which is okay because the price of this is £70. Okay, we'll get into that straight away. Is a wooden mechanical, which is awesome sauce.
Brass top and bottom.
Brass top and bottom. Whether it is truly a mechanical or not, not entirely sure. I'm sure once we take it apart and have a proper look at it, we'll have some more ideas about this.
Didn't really want to take it apart without Vic's permission, so we haven't done it yet.
No, we still haven't got her permission. Sorry, Vic. No, we're not going to take the top plate off just purely because if that goes doing, I'm going to go down 70 quid, 35 quid each. But
you do nothing.
Yeah, but you're involved.
I was not involved.
You heard him. He said it first.
I'm not taking this apart. If it's taken apart, it's by him and him alone.
Right, liars. Right, okay. So basically, that's what it is, guys. What we are going to do is going to show you a proper up close because you can't really judge by us doing this.
Are we?
I believe so. Yeah, we're going to show you a little up close about it. A few more details, and then we'll come back up to us. Have a nice old flappery doogan. So yeah, we'll go back. We'll go down now, and then we'll come back. And you'll come back.
You can go down.
But you'll be here.
I'm going to stay up.
We're going to stay up. Am I going down? Right guys, we're going down now. Right guys, this is a close-up of the Touchwood Mini. Okay, just have a quick look around it there. Lovely stuff. Starting at the top, I think we've got standard 510 there, brass contact inside. We've got sort of a middle screw there which is holding the top plate on, then you put your switch button. Fairly simple stuff, nice bit of brass finishing on there. We've got a nice bit of wood, stained wood. It does say made from reclaimed exotic hardwoods. We're not 100% as to what this is. It doesn't list it. Maybe it changes depending on what's available. It's definitely a hardwood though, maybe maple, something along those lines. And down to the bottom you've got a nice big flathead screw and then a brass plate at the bottom, nice and shiny. We have polished this up nicely. And if we flip her open, you've got your negative connection and your spring in there. It's fairly simple stuff for your 18350 battery. Not really much more going on in there, guys. To be honest, you've got brass contact at the bottom. Yeah, what more can you want? So we have had a look at this to see how we think this is working, and we would guesstimate if we undo this screw all the way, which is, it's not a small screw. We keep going and keep going, and there we are. If we undo a screw, put a brass plate down now. The screw stops to a certain point here every time, and obviously I can see more with a camera than I can by eye, to be honest with you. And basically what we're guesstimating happens, we'll stick the battery in at this point, what we're guesstimating happens is as you push that down, again nipple out guys, or if you're using, you may struggle with certain flat tops saying that, to be honest with you, dependent on how inset that flat top is. If you then screw this screw in to its connection, which by hand takes a while, you can use a knife or something I suppose, or a 20p piece to undo this if you needed to, or to do it up, but it stops there every time, and obviously then your battery's enclosed. You have got vent holes here and here, which is good. Obviously you want the vent holes. Wood's not going to turn into as much of a pipe bomb as metal, but it's still going to do serious damage if it was to go big bada boom. There's a nice bit of stain going on here. I mean, to be honest with me and Worm work with wood, so we'd probably end up retreating this several times. I don't know if Vic intends to do that. It's not varnished, it is just a natural stain on there, but there's a nice bit of a wood grain. He's chosen a good bit of wood, and obviously it's palm sized, very small in fact actually. And yeah, it's pretty much what more can you ask for. Brass contacts in your 510, away you go. That will be firing. If I just give that a quick checky doodles, if I stick nice little ratty on there, it would be firing. There we go. That is vaping, guys. I don't know if you can hear that, but there you go. It is vaping. It's not a low risk coil in there, so you're not going to hear it super pops. On the picture, it's got what looks like sort of a standard 510 atomizer with a Cyan Mods drip tip over the top of it. Vic's actually sent those down to accompany this, so we are going to run that with this, I think, and have a nice little vape at some point in a minute. So yeah, guys, that was the Touchwood or Touchwood Mini.
Hi guys, welcome back up.
1 minute. Bye, buggies. Let's go.
Why?
Oh, Minge, don't deny that I'm not helping you come out of your food coma, because we both know it to be true.
Hey guys, welcome back up. That was the close-up that Mr. Proton did on the Touchwood. We showed you, well, he showed you the bottom plate where he took it off and showed you all that hullabaloo down there. We're not entirely sure how it works, but it works nonetheless. So,
indeed. Yes, there you go, guys. That's what it is. To be honest, I wish we could give you a bit more info on the wood. I know we work with wood, and this is incredibly sloppy. We can guess what it is, but you can do that for yourself by looking at it the same as we can. A guess is just a guess.
We did check the site, and even he doesn't say what it is.
No,
it just says recyclable hardwoods, or tropical hardwoods. Sorry, so it could be any of the tropical woods.
Well, it says rare, doesn't it? To be honest with you, mahogany. I think mahogany or something like that. It's too dark to be maple. Maybe cherry. I don't know.
Doesn't smell of cherries.
Dick. So yeah, that's what it is. What it is, guys. As we showed you, obviously 510 at the top. It's very simple, but complicated all at the same time. Do want to do a little catch up though. Once we come off camera, I mean, I know I said to you about the screw going in the bottom and then it being connected by a wire. We're not entirely sure that is the case now. Basically, just for shits and giggles, I decided that I was going to test what it did under load. So I attached the Tanko. And just stuck a 1.5 ohm load in it, and it wouldn't work with the Tanko, which says to me, and Mr. Worm agrees, that it may be wired in reverse, or not wired at all, but working in reverse. So as opposed to your positive being attached to your centre pin, positive actually attached to the outside of the body, and your negative feeds through a centre pin, which basically works it backwards, a reverse polarity on it, which would make sense because then you've got your nipple here, your positive going up here through a screw, which then attaches to this directly into the 510, and then your negative. No. Yeah, then your negative up here. No, there is a reason for saying then your negative up here and then across the top. I still think it's true mechanical because of this switch, but if it is not say why, but if it is fixed like this, I don't understand why the Tanko wouldn't work in it, because I would just go up straight through the positive pin. We have no idea what's going in there, and again, we're not prepared to take this top plate off just because we don't know what's underneath it, and if something goes put down, it's not ours, and we really don't want to break it, because I know that Vicky loves this thing. So hopefully she'll be appreciative of the fact that we give it a polish for her.
But he did anyway.
I did a little bit brass on, I was like, yeah. But that is what it is. So obviously you can have a gauge of the look up and close. Obviously each one's going to be slightly different in terms of what the wood is, the grain. I'd imagine.
Sorry, can you just do that action again?
No. I'd imagine the grain is always going to be running the same way. It's very unlikely it's going to have the grain crossing around, and it's always going to be basically the same shape. But it does say handmade and all that kind of wicked stuff, and it is hand sized, which I like. So yeah, do you want to do a 5-point here and have a chat about afterwards? Get that out of the way. Let's do it. Looks. Looks.
Cool.
Me? I like brass. I do. I like wood. Without being perverted. 9.5 for looks actually. I do. I like its factor. I like its form. I appreciate hand making of things. So I appreciate the personal touches that go into them, and so we both work with wood. We appreciate the effort it takes to get something to look like this, and the amount of times he must have got almost there, and this cracked. Not this, but one of them cracked, and he's gone. I can't have thrown it away. So yeah, I do. I like it 9.5.
I'm not his biggest fan.
It's racist.
I'm sorry, but don't know, I do like the wood mods. I'm not a lover of the brass look though. I prefer the stainless steel look, sort of Esquire or a shinier look, chromed or whatever. Brass is okay. It's not horrible, but the maintaining of brass is effort that I don't even want to bother with, so I don't ever buy completely brass mods. Other than that, it doesn't look bad. It's not my personal preference. I mean, it still looks about a 7 for me, but it's just not something that I would buy, because for 70 quid I'd rather something a bit more than that.
That's up to you. Right, I'm being really sloppy. Maintenance, usability. Usability. Right, you chuck it's a mod. You chuck a battery in it, you secure it down, and you're off and you're on your go. The only slight niggle with this one, or the slight downside, is that you have got to have something pointy, a coin, or I mean a 50p piece will do it. But if you are on the move, then it might be a bit more of an inconvenience than just popping the cap off.
Twist it with it's tightened?
Yes, but doing it back up. It's a problem, and obviously you potential damage to the wood. Yeah. But your usability, I mean, it is. We're talking a fraction of it. I'm still going to give it a 9.9. It's just something to bear in mind. You may have, obviously, if you're carrying an ego case, it might be worth make sure you've always got 50p in your ego case. The worst case is can of coke in it. So there you go. Yeah,
usability. I got to agree. It's like a 9.9. I mean, for us, it's probably a 10 because we've always got a screwdriver to hand. We work in a workshop. We have a screwdriver. We have several screwdrivers. At home we have several screwdrivers. It's not like we're ever without a screwdriver really, except for walking a hill away, because that's how far I have to walk to work. It's a hill. That small distance is the battery isn't going to run up that quick. Don't get me wrong. The way we run coils, this small battery, it wouldn't last us very long. But yeah, usability is like a 9.9.
Woo!
Maintenance.
Usually maintenance on mods is give it a wash. It depends on, I suppose, your personal view on things and how you like to present your mods, or how you like them to be presented. Me personally, maintenance on this would be more than it would on just a standard tube mod, stainless steel or
even
chrome.
A brass one, I think.
It would be more so than just a brass one. I mean, I've got brass mods and you polish them, and that's what it is. I mean, there is more to polish on a brass mod, but you polish it none the same. But with this, I'd probably, if this was mine, I would pop that off. I would pop this off. I'll take it apart altogether, and then probably once every 6 months, once a year, I would probably sand this body down very slightly just to remove some of the excess and the build up that got over it over the course of how long it'd been. And then I would restain this, or to be honest with you, if this was mine, I would probably have varnished this by now, just because it's going to be slightly harder wearing. So, I mean, maintenance, depending on what you want to put into it and get out of it, it's going to be between, say, a 6 and a 9. But for me personally, this would be a 7.
Yeah, I mean, I would personally treat the wood. I would give it a good varnish when I first got it, and I would keep the brass looking pretty good, because I think on that sort of size mod you're going to notice it more because there's less of the brass. You're going to notice when it tarnishes, because that wood is so it's very nice. It's the way you sanded it down. It's a very nice finish, and when that brush gets a bit angled a little bit, you're going to need to polish it. It's just not going to look right otherwise. So I'm going to kind of agree. It's going to be between a 6 and a 9, depending on how much you want to put into it. I mean, if you're not going to touch it, 9. It's just going to be literally maintaining that 510 threading, keeping that clean when your juice gets bunged down there, and that's it. Build quality and
price.
Yeah.
Build quality. There's only one thing that I can point out that I would have changed if I'd made this. Along the bottom, I hope that you saw it in close up. If you can see it there, see it's got the grain, whereas at the top it's all buffed. It looks like after being drilled, it's been held onto a belt sander or something alike. And then not been rebuffed or not been resanded with a coarser paper, or and then rebuffed. So there is some grain there. Now, whether that's intentional, it may be for grip, I don't know. But I would like to have seen it perfectly buffed like the top is, just so they're matching, because I'm a bit anal about that kind of stuff. But other than that, the build quality is excellent. And price, 70 quid. I think it's worth every penny, to be honest with you. It's not something that you buy for a practical use necessarily, because let's face it, if you want a practical use, you want something that's going to be bouncing if you drop it, and you want something you're not going to have to worry about. You don't want to get soft brass that could scratch and wood that could crack. This for me is more one of them sort of pleasure things, conversational piece maybe. But 70 quid, I don't think it's unreasonable. It's handmade. This has been hand treated. It's going to have been all put together by hand, and I think 70 quid's probably, for the work that goes into it, a little bit of a bargain when you think things like the NEM and that kind of thing. 150 quid, they're not made by Billy Bob in his shed. Ian, actually, in fact, Ian who makes these, they're not made by Ian in his shed in limited numbers using rare woods. They're made in a complete different fashion altogether and just are very expensive. So yeah, I think 70 quid's justifiable.
No, I've got to agree on price. The handmanship that goes into it is top notch. It really is. The grain he's got on that wood, the finish he's got on everything, really, except for that, like the bottom part. I'd rather them both be grained or both being flush, so they match. It wouldn't bother me either way. He would probably prefer it buffed up, but
it does look nice. It's just matching would be nice, and obviously on top you don't want that grain look realistically.
But yeah, for the price, I think it is justifiable because it is all done by hand, and it's not so much the amount you're getting with it, it's the tailorability. You get like the personalisation of it, sort of thing. Everyone's going to be slightly different. They're not all going to be perfectly exact. There are going to be differences, and especially in the grain of the wood, and maybe just the notches are slightly different size or different far over or whatever. It could be anything, but each one's going to be slightly different. There is no one that's going to be the same as the other, so that is worth the money.
I'll take that over serial number any day.
But for me,
sorry, my number was 9.5 for build quality price.
Yeah, price. I think it is justifiable. So 9, because I think it is. It's just I don't know whether you get anything with it, but it would have been nice if like maybe you got like maybe the varnish that he uses or the wood stain that he's used. Just maybe just like a little pot of it, just so you know what one to get. Just so you can retreat it and that with the same, so it gives it the same effect, and just a little bit extra would have been nice on that. Would have probably put it up to a 10, just so you know what varnish or whatever you need to use on it.
We don't actually know what comes with this, guys. We don't actually know if you buy this. We don't actually know what comes with it. Vic sent this down to us, and this as it is. So Vic, if you do get any additional or none at all, can you comment in for us? I know Vicky is gonna sit here and watch this meticulously.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Build quality. The build quality of it is. It is really good. It's wood. It's been cut really good. I mean, like he's not used any crap tools on this. He's used proper tools, and he's spent some time on each one of these, I believe. So, yeah, 10 for that one, I think.
Indubitably, overall, you can go first on this one. So I'm having a baby.
Overall, I like it. I just don't. It's not one of the ones that I love, and for me, personally, it's hitting around about 7, just because I would have to put a lot of work into this to maintain it, because I would want this to be maintained. So on that reason alone, I wouldn't buy one myself. I'm not saying like you don't want to put the work into it, or if it's just something that you're going to use about home, like Mr. Brown said, like a little conversation starter at home, maybe when you're entertaining or whatever, you've got that on the table instead of something big and bulky and metal. It probably will look a little bit nice and give you something to talk about, but yeah, it's just the amount of effort I'd have to keep into maintaining this, because it would be a lot. Like Mr. Brown said, I would probably sand that wood back every year at least. Keep retreating that, keep the brass tip-top condition, and the fact that this is the small one, I'd rather pay the extra, because it's another 15 quid for the larger size.
Or tenner for the 500.
Yeah, or a tenner for the 500. I'd pay the extra 15 quid just for the Mar alone. I think that's the main thing. I wouldn't buy the small one, but I probably, if I wanted one, I would probably buy the larger one if I was going to, just for the size of the battery you can put in there, because we run low res coils. An 18350 is going to last 5 minutes with us. It's not even worth even entertaining anymore. The small batteries, it's just like if we're not stacking them, we're not using them. That's the only reason they sit on my desk, and he's got rid of his ones. He doesn't even own any, so because they're just too small. But yeah, I think it's worth its money. I think if you're looking for a wood mod, definitely one to go for. Depending on what size you want is whatever you want to choose on, but just be aware that the next size up is an extra tenner. The size above that is an extra 15 quid. So 85 quid for the larger one. It's up to you what you want to buy.
There you go.
Worms Falls.
Worms Falls. They were a bit of a ramble for the worm, actually, in fact.
I don't know what's
good
that much
stuff.
Don't get used to it.
He's ignorant. Overall, for me, I think you have got to bear in mind what you want out of your mod. I mean, to be honest, like we said, this isn't necessarily the most practical mod. It's not. But as something to own. It's lovely. It's very, very nice. I am enjoying using it. I enjoy looking at it. I'll be honest with you. I've got appreciation.
I think I understand why Vic loves it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Had I bought this, I wouldn't be unhappy. Again, I agree with I would have bought the 650 or the 500 just for the life. But had I bought this, I wouldn't be unhappy. And it is beautifully small. I mean, I'm not being funny. That is with a UDA on top of it. If I can get it all the way down to the
bare hands though.
Yeah, I have got bare hands. I have got bare hands, but you can see a drip tip. I mean, as a stealth vape, this beats the Smok Gripper, and the Smok Gripper's teeny. I like it. I find myself warming to it more than I thought I was going to. Just purely because it's cute. It's very cute. It is not something that would ever enter my mind. Practically, it would be indoors. I would never use a lower res coil than this on it. This is like a 1 ohm coil. This battery will last me 2 hours, 3 hours on a 1 ohm coil. Again, with the 650, we could put 3,400 mAh battery, or at least the 2,000. With the 500, again around about 2,000. That would give me a good 5 or 6 hours vaping time, so I could put one on them in at night and puff, puff, puff away. We do vape a lot, me more than him, but he will still empty a 350 in 2 hours. Empty it to the point we don't want to vape it anyway. Get to around 3.4 volts, and from there you can notice a drop off.
Not in a mechanical anyway. I mean, anyone who uses mechanicals will know what we're talking about. You don't ever use the battery all the way to the end of its life. Very rare unless you're on like a 0.2 ohm coil.
There you go. But for me overall, I really like it. I do. I'm going to give it a 9.5 overall for me. For everyone, it's totally dependent on your. Pardon me. It's totally dependent on your take on things. Sorry, I had some coke. But if you are looking at one, if you want one, then you're not going to be unhappy with it. Again, our recommendation would be the 500 or the 650. But you wouldn't be unhappy with this one at all. I know that Vic sits there. I know I said in the close up, well, we might stick the Buey on top of it and have a little vape on that, but this was closer. But I know that Vic sits there with a bridgeless 306 Buey on top of it, Cyan Mods sleeve on it, and sits there and puffs away quite happily in flavour country, and sits there very happy and smiling. I can understand why, just because again, we work with wood, and I do really appreciate what it's taken to get this to the point it is. It is the craftsmanship, and you don't see as much of you see a lot of design in this industry, a lot of innovative design, and a lot of very clever design. But what I would call true, genuine, bare knuckle craftsmanship, you don't see that very much of it, and it's nice to see it. It's nice to see someone's putting the effort in, sat in his shed with a belt sander and a router and all that, and got really involved with it and going, you know, I'm going to make these. I think that's awesome sauce. I do. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.5 for me. For everyone else, guys, you're going to have to make up your own mind, obviously.
It's not something we can give a mark on because it is a very personalised thing. You're either going to want a wooden mod or you're not, and you're going to be. If you want a wooden mod, you know the care that you're going to have to put into this if you want one. So
for sure,
it's a hard mod to say like yes, it's a 10 for everyone. Go and buy one, because we can't do that. It's just not. It's depending on the work and whether you appreciate wood in itself. If you don't like wood, don't buy it.
To be honest with you though, if this was a 650, we've seen pictures of 650, 650 is basically the same, but the 650 would take you to about there.
Yeah. Okay,
so then you'd have that on top of it, so we're talking an overall height of about there. If this was a 650, obviously our hands are more acclimatised to that kind of size, or 500. I think there would be a bit more, even more so. But even in the 350 mode, yeah, I really like this. I think it's worth the money if you want it, basically, and I don't think you're unhappy with it. And I'd imagine, to be honest with you, it's probably going to hold its money pretty damn well. I can't see it being one of them things that you spend 70 quid on and it's worth 35 quid. I can imagine it'd still be worth 50, 55 quid, even if you've had it for a year or two.
Or even like 70 quid in a trade sort of thing.
You know, equivalent trade, you'll get an equivalent trade for this, easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, do like this. I'd recommend it if that's what you want. Obviously, same as everything, guys. If you don't want it, then don't buy it. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done, aren't we? Yeah. Obviously, big thank you to Vicky for sending this down to us. She's an absolute diamond. Really, really nice lady. Obviously, come on the Facebook, guys, and you get to meet all these people we talk about recently.
Definitely Vic. She's like the mummy of the group.
Yeah, Vic is definitely the mother of the group. There's a few people that kind of just stand out. And there's the mummy and there's the old uncle, and it's pretty cool. We are a very close group. We're not huge, but we're approaching a couple of hundred now. But everyone on there wants to be there, and you can tell that. So wicked stuff. Obviously, thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Mr. Proton. This has been The Worm.